Siva Sankaran. We are working on Adi Lakshmi painting. This is one of the 8 forms of Lakshmi avatars that are celebrated for all the positive propensities of life. And Adi Lakshmi, Adi, the term Adi refers to first. So this is the first form of Goddess Lakshmi that we are celebrating and painting along, learning along. Along with that, we are also twisting the storyline by using references of a child to create this image, a child from another culture possibly. So we are creating an image, empowering girl child, also celebrating diversity. There's a lot going on, and we are still in layer 4. Layer 4 is the layer where there's a lot of depth, um, detailing happening, enhancing happening. So let's just look at the sessions that we have gone through as a quick summary. We started with the first layer, which was a wash on the canvas, and that was covered in one of the basic lessons and not a part of this. And the moment we kick-started this particular training, we were getting into references, understanding in depth of the references that we could use, planning, execution on the canvas using grids. And the moment the grids were done and we did the execution, we had to refine that, and we did that through colors with layer 2. Layer 3 was giving a bit of idea as to what is depth. That was telling us where is dark, where is light. Isn't it dark versus light game? And something was coming up then. And layer 4, you can see, is like, a little more detailing, more refinement, more on the depth and nuance. Yes. So we have done all that, and now we are ready to um, uh, work on the last but not the least part of this layer 4, which is on the jewelry. Yeah. So this is a session that's going to be on jewelry. This jewelry session will be the session or class number 8 of this series of Adi Lakshmi painting classes, and we are going to work on the spaces that we have already devised or set forth for. That's going to be the space for crown or earring, necklace, and such. And you saw me most of the time using primary yellow, mixing it with a little bit of white and yellow ochre to create a kind of gold, because I just by default put in the space for gold. But right now you will see me working on some kind of details, and for the detailing, you will find references in the description, and these are references that I had pulled out for jewelry, keeping in mind that the image that we are working on is coming from different cultural background. Can we show some storyline that could take us back to the jewelry? It could take us back to give a feeling of this child could belong to another country altogether. So can we do that, yes or no? So I've been looking into that, and the the kind of jewelry that's going to be adorned on Adi Lakshmi is going to have, I think she is from, I'm not very sure. When I picked up references, I did pick from multiple culture, but I know for sure that this is I think she is coming from some European origin, and I chose some German jewelry, which you will find in that references. You will find references for each of the country that I have picked up, for the 8 different paintings, and it's up to you to pick up anything, any design that you like. So I have liked some of these references that I will work on. Um, and use that as an inspiration for the jewelry. Yeah. And I saw that this kind of jewelry that's so interesting here is silver, so not necessarily gold. So in my case, because I tend to use this gold color, basically not a gold, but I tend to use yellow ochre and primary yellow with white to fill in the spaces, block the spaces of jewelry. It doesn't really matter because it gels well when we build on to a silver kind of design. Also, it works well, so it really goes well. So, going to get started with the jewelry making or jewelry design here. And the when you look at the references, you will see that the kind of jewelry that's got German silver necklace brand. It looks like the ears of an elephant and such, and I like the way it is set up. I really like the way it is set up, so I want to try to do that for her earring. Maybe when I take references from this, that you also have a copy of. Sometimes I try not to make an exact copy. Sometimes if I like it, I would do the exact copy. In this case, there's a lot of things going on that looks slightly bigger. Obviously this jewelry looks for women, so I want to use the design that is a little viable for a child. So maybe I will cut down the pattern into something that is a little more, viable for a child. So I like the idea of the elephant kind of look that this jewelry is giving. I want to keep to that. So for that, I can clearly see that there is black and white that could help us create the silver kind of outlook, and I'm going to rely on titanium white. Zero brush number one, anything that is smaller will help in the process. I'm going to take, I think I have a 000 or a zero brush here. Okay, I'm going to use this first to see how things go, and then I will uh, start working towards the details. Okay, I can clearly see that I will need a even tinier brush to show the size. So I have given that design pattern, and I'm just definitely going to need a micro brush for this. Um, Let me see if I have one that will help me in this process. I have brush number one that is large, but then it's a clean new brush. Going to experiment with a combination of brushes to see which one really goes well for me. Yeah, this one could for a while until I need to shift to um, a micro brush. So until such time, I think I will rely on this brush first. So I've got that anything related to white, I'm going to do that first. So it looks like an inverted triangle for the, it looks like the elephant's trunk, how that is built, and then there is a small little circle or a pearl that is hanging in that jewelry. I like that part. So I'm just going to use the part of the jewelry, not the entire jewelry here. Okay. And the sides are looking like elephant's ears. Mm. So I'm going to make this slightly, because I don't want it to give a feeling that it is overpowering her face here. Tip of the brush only, and I'm making that, jabbing in that shape. Okay, the shape is coming up, and I am happy with the basic shape that is coming up. Sometimes, with jewelry, there are few things, when you're creating the basic shape itself, you might realize that it is overpowering. It's a little too much for the face of the key character and such. So with jewelry, we need to just test a little bit, and the moment we are feeling that it looks like it's going in the right direction, then it gives us a feeling to continue. So I'm creating that triangle first. In the neck, because it's I think it's a necklace set, and also it comes with the earring, from what I can see in that reference. Yeah. Taking that, and if you have found different references to work with, you could use it. It's just that I want to have something different. With respect to jewelry, I have had a standard approach of using gold and working and such. I have done it many times. I like it, but I think it's also boring when it comes to doing the same thing again and again. So I would like to experiment a little more, and this is me trying out something different. So I've done some research into these jewelry nuances, and you will see that in the reference file, you could choose anything that works for you. So I'm creating the side, the elephant ear kind of impression. Nothing is now in a clear shape form yet. It needs further work, and I want to give that small little pearl drop also in the right in the bottom of the tip of the triangle. Yeah. And I am being cautious because the green of the shirt is still wet. It is also a good idea to wait until everything is dry to work on the jewelry. For now, I can see that it is semi-wet and I can manage. If I cannot, I would rather stop. With jewelry, especially when I am testing all these. So this was the base, and for the detailing I would need ivory black for that jewelry, and also a micro brush. So I'm giving that small little stripes. Jewelry detailing would also take layers. Yeah, so and also we'll have to think of the depth a little bit. So what I'm doing is what we did in the when we did the layer, yes. So when we did the layer uh, 3, we did something like filling, and then we moved on to further depth and detail. So the jewelry is also good work towards such the depth and detailing, because we have given some shading already around that space. It will help us, but with the nuances we'll have to work again. So just be prepared for that, because we are choosing the jewelry only now. Yeah. Wow. Hmm. Looks like I could use a little more of that space from the for the elephant's ear sort of a thing. Hmm. So this is a new experiment. Let me know how it is coming. Ah, yes. So looks like I am done with the basic needs for the earring, and the necklace is also done. There are a few other jewelry patterns to work with, not to miss the crown as such. There is also the crown. So I've kind of left the pattern, done here. So let's focus on the rest of the jewelry. I looked at one other jewelry pattern um, from where I felt, there's some inspiration. I think this is also mentioned there. It's one of the traditional jewelry that looks like, it's got some chakra or, circles and bands and so on. It's a long necklace and it's got a nice pattern to go with. Maybe not all of it, but some of it is a good idea. It also comes with this earring. I could have done that, but I think I like this necklace as such, so I'm going to use that, the long necklace. Yeah. Again, under the category of German jewelry that I have put in my references, I'm going to use that to do this long necklace. And then the bangles, I think I will take there is some bangle shapes that is looking like stone, and I want to use that for the stone. So to start with this necklace design, going to rely on titanium white a little bit, creating the necklace design first. So I can see that it's got some big circles somewhere, so I'm just going to leave that nice circles to be showing in a couple of places. Okay, in the center of it has, wow, that's a lot of things, but I can see, the minimal form. I like that. I think this is also good for the crown design. We can use 3 circles to simplify it, and we can take that pattern up for the crown as well. So I haven't really researched on anything related to crown, but I found certain things that are, jewelry itself that can be adjusted to make the crown. So I think that the C kind of a thing coming up looks like the crowns thing from the necklace. I'm going to take that up there. So I will do only 3 circles like that, one beneath the other. So we are taking only the chakra design here, and I want to use that chakra design also on the, yeah, because we don't have, we have one more jewelry, a couple of more jewelries that's not, it's a belt, so we use this bigger circle here. For the same kind of design pattern. Yeah, I'm filling in a little more of white. I'm not worried that it is looking really polished titanium white now, because we will add black to it to design and such. So that's it. And the connector looks like there's very tiny flower shapes. I don't know how far detailing you want to go with it, but I like it. I don't want the double line there, but I would like to have a thin line, a single dotted line kind of. So I'm just giving single dots because it looks like a double. It's a very thin. It also is giving the description, and I researched on it, that it is an antique piece, a German antique piece. So wow, wow, she looks priceless now. It's just that we are doing the basics now, but still you can see the difference here. And this, don't worry about if you are also choosing to do something similar and you're working with white. Don't worry about the yellow ochre background that we have given. It's only going to help accentuate. So it will look like gold mixed around. So it will not spoil the whole story. That's why I said let's do the yellow ochre, primary yellow, and we are not totally decided about the jewelry. At least we would have done the spacing. That's done. What about the patterns on the belt? Again, I want to use the same idea of those chakras. So, going to make some circles there. Okay. That looks cool. Yeah, so that's the plan for the jewelry here. I said I want to use that necklaces idea for the top of her, for the crown. So I'm going to take the tip of my brush. Let's do this. How is this looking? So I can see the detail that it's got a dot here. It's like a 6-petal flower pattern. It's a very traditional stone pattern in a jewellery. It looks like that. I'm not a jewellery designer. I have no clue. So if I'm talking rubbish, please forgive me. I'm also learning from this exercise. So that was this thing. So I'm taking the necklace's centerpiece as an idea for the crown. So it goes like this into a C like this. Yeah, that's how it goes, like a cup, a chalice or something. Yeah. So we are drawing the basics here, and we will be trying to do as much as we can in this layer, and the next layer we will do a little more depth and enhancement for the jewelry. So that was how the base was looking. This has a stronger base here. It's got a lot of jewelry here, and then it goes like leaves on top. And then the final dot there. Yeah? So that looks like it. That's a cool pattern. I want to, so I have done the center of the crown. I just want to give tiny bits of those circular ideas taken from inspiration from other places as well to go. On the top. Yeah. So I'm just building on that idea. So it's just up to you, your creativity. And I'm looking at any other design pattern I could use, or just leave it as a, it could have that gold background also. We needn't touch that, so we could rely on that as well. So I'm just going to refine that edge just a little bit and leave it there. So we might, have it the same way. So that's about this jewelry here. Bangles are the last but not the least, and the bangles, I saw this stone kind of thing, but I'm going to, this is looking like, the way this jewelry is looking like, it's like a ring, the bangle, and on top of the bangle vertically the stones are placed. But I'm going to imagine that to be horizontally placed so that it is looking like diamond shapes. So I'm again using the white to design. So I just want them to look slightly on a diamond shape pattern. So I'm creating that diamond shape pattern like this. Yeah, cool. And the gold that is left over visible, that is perfect. It's only helping in the process. So creating the diamond shape. So basic shapes are getting ready now. Let's do a little bit of work on some detailing and leave the rest for the next layer. So that's about the diamond shape here. Yeah, I've left it like that, yes. Just see if there is need to do a little more of the titanium white, and remember, do not add too much of oil. I am actually avoiding using of the oil medium. I'm just trying to rely on what I have on my palette, simple titanium white, nothing much, um, to see if I can achieve what I want at this point. Yeah, so I have done that, and now I'm pushing into the ivory black. Good. So this, let me do the bangles pattern first. Not taking too much of ivory black, it's in the zero brush to give the edges, and I let it mix a little bit with the titanium white so it doesn't really look so sharp as black, sorry. I'm using it for the bangles first now. Okay. So it's up to you to choose different designs and patterns that you would like to show her in. I'm just trying my best to see if I could, pick up some of the ideas from, traditional jewelry patterns. And also, I cannot do the whole of it because of the space. First thing, another thing is that you could not adorn her too much in the type of jewelry that is, layers and layers. That could be a good one, possibly for a mature, woman's face. Maybe not a great one for little girl. So this chakra kind of thing is having a center ring, and then there are rings churning, like that, and I like that. So I'm just giving that effect. Okay. With ivory black, and it is mixing a little bit with the titanium white, which is fine because I want it to also look slightly natural and not too too much man-made. So but it's a learning process that we also are in, so let's try our best to see if we can tell the storyline beautifully using these antique jewelry as some guidance. That's looking good. So Okay. Nearly there with the flower patterns here. Cool. So I'm going to proceed with the flower patterns on the central designs on the belt. At this point it's just black and white, but in the next layer you'll be able to do a little more definition. Yeah, nearly there with the belt here. We're only left with the crown adjustments again, refining the central lines there, and then we should be good. Yeah. So these flower patterns are really at the elementary level, but they kind of defining spaces a little better, some kind of detailing of the jewelry, and it is helpful now. So let's proceed with the flower pattern on the crown. Is so, it should be looking refined also, yeah. Just giving some strokes there to give it, a kind of fine tuning in the. Cool. I think I am done with the jewelry pattern designing. This brings us to the close of layer 4. So in layer 4 we have done a lot of detailing, and we have learned how to bring a little more onto the depth and nuances. So we will continue this action in layer 5. But before that, one thing that I do is to plan on my signature in layer 4. Layer 5 is something I decide as a final layer for some standard paintings like these, but it's not necessarily uh, uh, a last layer, final layer for you if you want to work on further levels of detailing and such. Uh, but for me, the signature is also a part of my painting. So what I do is I plan on my signature, and a very important part of my signature is my own, my thumb impression that goes in the, what do you call, the front, the front of the canvas. So I'm just going to show you what I do here. So I take my left hand thumb, and I am just filling it with the crimson color for my thumb impressions to go. Yeah. So I think I'm ready with so this is a slightly dirty process, but I do this essentially on my canvases, and I'm going to show you. So I will do this on the left hand bottom corner here. That's where my name is going to go. And leave it like this to dry. And when it dries, then I start my my name's first letter G here on the dried portion, and then I continue to write my name here. So that's how I do that. So my thumb impression is gone in, but I do that only when I am thinking that I'm done with the background. Kind of the background is appealing to me, and I would do maybe minor adjustments so I know for sure that this part will not be repainted, where I have done my yeah, where I have done my signatures planning. So otherwise, that's how the image looks right now. Thank you very much for following this through. All the very best for you to succeed in this process. Remember to reach out to me if you have any questions. Write to me. Also, remember to share a copy of your picture, what you're doing. If you're struggling a lot with something and you want it to be something else and it's not happening, let's discuss. We could possibly have a one-on-one call also via Zoom or Teams to understand more of what your requirement is. So if I could help you in some way in your journey, I'll be glad to. Please do remember to drop a message to support@theglazestudio.dk. Uh, until we meet up in the next session, do remember to take enough rest because we are coming close to the finish line. You also need to think of spacing yourself a little bit away from this canvas, and then thinking of any other improvements that you would like to do or such before you start the final layer 5 with me. Until we meet such time, stay blessed, stay motivated, stay happy, stay healthy. Let's meet up. Bye bye.